Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Morning Line. Nick Barris here with you on a Wednesday. You know, these days in the news, time and again, we hear about juveniles and youth having issues, troubles, maybe ending up in trouble with the law, or maybe having problems at school. And a lot of times you can get to the root cause of exactly why this happens. These kids aren't bad to begin with. It can be issues at home. It can be some of the peers that they have. It can be whether or not they don't have a support system. All of this. And the bottom line when it comes to these kids that get into trouble, while we all get angry, and while there needs to be sometimes repercussions for some of their actions, whatever it may be, you don't give up on kids, okay? And not all of them get in serious trouble, but some need a helping hand along the way. And there are organizations here in town that partner with schools to try to help, especially some of these at-risk kids, you know, get their lives back together and get on the path where they can succeed in life. And that's really to everyone's benefit, not just theirs. We're going to talk this morning about one group that does this, does a wonderful job. I've been here since 2010. To be honest with you, I'm not as familiar with them as I should, though I've heard of them. But we're going to talk about it today, what their role is and the difference they've made in kids' lives. So we're talking about O.L.L.I.E, Only Living Life in Excellence, and wouldn't we all want to do that? We have the two co-founders with us this morning, Ty Garth and Dred Yehuda. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good to have you guys on. O.L.L.I.E, O.L.L.I.E, O.L.L.I.E. And Ty, you've written the book, O.L.L.I.isms, book of quotes, inspirational things, and it's a journal as well. And thank you for this. You autographed it for me. But yeah, why don't we start with you, Ty? Just kind of the genesis of this. It's been around since 2010, but what O.L.L.I.E is all about?
We mentor young boys ages 12 to 18.
Boys, not girls, but boys.
Yeah, boys.
Okay,
it's a transition. It's a curriculum-based program where we transition youth from middle school to high school to college, and then college to life, and we just follow them throughout.
How do they end up with you? Are these, okay, do you go into schools, are these kids that get sent to alternative schools, and then you work with them? Or are they at-risk kids, I guess, what I was wondering?
A lot of times it's referrals.
Okay.
But because my degrees in education, I've been in the school system since I graduated in
Here in Metro or
2005. I was working at Metro schools. John Early was the first school that housed the O.L.L.I.E program. Shout out to Dr. Mason at the time. He was the principal.
To get it started, yeah.
So he allowed me to house the program there. So we get recommendations for families calling in and just have concerns about their son or nephew or brother or something like that.
There was a need for this, right?
Most definitely.
I mean, what did you see happening before? I mean, where's the need and the role it plays?
So, I mean, you know, we're very aware of society and what we see on a daily basis. Some of our background and the way that we grew up wasn't the most successful or delightful. And we wanted to make sure that these children didn't grow up or even experience some of the things that we had to experience as a young boy growing up in some of these urban societies.
And yeah, if you don't mind, even if you speak from personal experience, what are we talking about? Some of the experiences that you dealt with that you thought to yourself, I don't want any of these other kids dealing with support systems.
Definitely. Or a lack thereof of the support systems. You know, some of the environments that we've grown up in, we haven't had the best examples for whatever reason. You know, a lot of times we gravitate towards the things that are more flashy than the things that are more important. And it could be our downfall. And so we all haven't been fortunate enough to grow up with people that loved us enough to say, hey, this is not it, this is it. Don't go this way, go that way. And like I said, we just wanted to make sure that we're doing our part in society, especially as men, to make sure that some of these young men don't have to experience those things. We want to build a foundation for them and a platform so that they can elevate and be even better than us when they get to be our age.
Sure.
Yeah, we want to be the blueprint for them.
Yeah.
Because
and you're both examples that you can succeed that way.
Yeah.
And you went through a hardship without having O.L.L.I.E as a benefit, right?
Yeah, for sure. But we had coaches, like I played basketball, Dred played basketball as well.
Who's a better player? You guys still hoop? Oh, okay, no, sorry. You guys, I saw the way you were looking at it.
That's my brother. I love him.
Okay.
I love him.
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
You know, 1A, 1B. But we want to just be that blueprint for them, and show them that you have people coming from similar backgrounds. you can be successful. Because that thought process of success is money, cars, fame, and things of that nature. They don't look at the teacher or the mailman or somebody like that as being successful. They're looking at, like Dre said, they're thinking about the flash of everything. So we just want to be the blueprint for them and show them that we come from similar backgrounds. We understand the traumas and the things that you may be dealing with throughout your life at a young age. We dealt with things like that as well, but we persevered through that, and we're here.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you talk about the flash, and if you go the route you said with some of these other careers, you can have flash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As you succeed, you know, whether a mailman or you make money and you can have flash, but there's shortcuts. And I guess what you can talk about when you talk about flash in cars and taking shortcuts, and whether that's crime, selling drugs. I mean, that's what we're talking about here, where the kids maybe see this and they don't have the guidance, and the easy path, if they're in with the wrong crowd, is to go that direction, because I can see why someone would be drawn to that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the questions that we ask is how do you measure success, though?
Yeah, that's a good question for everyone, isn't it? How do you measure success?
Being able to take care of my family.
Okay.
Being a good example of what a man looks like, mistakes and all. Being an honest man, being a righteous man. Those are things, intangible things, that will leave a name for you when you're not here.
And you're happy in your heart because you feel these ways, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the happiness can be one measure of success, as long as it's along the lines of what you just talked about, right?
Right. Now, I don't want to negate the fact that, you know, we like to have money, we need money.
Sure.
But on the scale of what's
nice
more
things.
important, I feel like the things that I just said are more important.
Well, it is. But man, whether it's dealing with these young kids who need help or others, that's society today, unfortunately, isn't it? I mean, I'm just talking about for everyone.
Right.
It's all about money and all this garbage on social media, and everyone taking a look and, you know, seeing what everyone else is doing. And most of the crap on social media is people making stuff up. You know, it ain't true. They make themselves look like they're superstars, and they're not. It's just there, and you know, I mean,
that's who's raising the kids.
That's society these days.
That's who's raising our kids is social media.
Yeah, which is not good because it's not real.
It's not.
It's not real. And
It's
so,
a false sense of
so that's
reality.
kind of what you're up against. Not only, you know, what these kids are dealing with without a support structure, but also just society and what you see on TV and everyone. It's just about money, and hustling here.
Correct.
And you know, most people, if you really sit down with those folks who pursue that, they ain't happy.
Right.
No.
They ain't happy. They're still chasing this, and they don't really understand.
Yeah.
Boy, if you can instill that in a young kid, regardless, that's a big deal, because then they're going to become adults that have their heads on straight, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
I think that's one of the benefits of growing up without social media.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have that ability.
All three of us can relate.
Right.
Yeah, so in fairness to these kids, it's not their fault, it's here, and they're taking advantage of it. We would have if it was around when we were there, and who knows how that might have influenced us.
Right.
But if they was told, well, they have been told, because we share this as well when we have sessions, like, you in the day of technology, you can be, this is the day for you to be the most successful, because you have access to so much.
Yeah.
You can just do a post and go viral and make tons of money. But you gotta go viral doing something negative. You don't never see the positive posts that get all the love and support and push behind it. It's always something negative that that's being promoted, and that's what the kids are seeing. So they feel like let's go promote something negative.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and by the way, we'll get into more of the details here as the show progresses about what O.L.L.I.E does. But with social media, I mean, we talked about the negative of it. Are you guys able to use that as a positive, as you just said, maybe point them, say, look, we're all on social media now, but there's a way you can do it in a positive I don't know. And do they listen to that, you know?
Well, I mean, I think we all struggle with that.
Yeah.
Adults and youth alike.
No kidding.
But, you know, setting that example, watching the things that you eat, that you post, it's a representation of yourself, right? And so if you want to portray a certain kind of light, you have to be aware of not only the things that you're posting, the things that you're watching. It all kind of plays a part in that, and being able to show them that we're capable of doing that. You look on my social media, it's only posts of Ollie, my children, maybe trips that I take. And it's not to take anything away from the things that other people are doing, but I'm purposely being mindful of how I'm being portrayed. You know, if I don't know you and you look on my page and you see things that
that's my judgment of you.
Yeah.
That's what I decide you are.
Exactly. And so just letting them know that you can still be cool, you can still be popular, you can still have the things that you want without portraying somebody that's not even you. Mm-hmm. It's important.
So O.L.L.I.E right now is, I think we were talking about before the show, is in over 10 middle and high schools here. Is it in Davidson County, Middle Tennessee in general?
Yes, it's all over Middle Tennessee.
All over Middle Tennessee.
Yeah,
and
whoever would like to have us come program, just reach out. We'll be there.
So you partner. So how does that develop? They reach out. The principals or a school will ask for help, or vice versa, and then how do you set up a program?
So the relationships that we built over the years with principals and counselors and things of that nature, they still have contact with us. It's easy access for us. You know, you go on the website, the actual number that's on there is my cell phone number.
Okay, cool.
So
I love
it's
that.
like,
and you answer.
And I answer the phone, so you're able to just reach out and we can make a connection that way.
So what are they asking you when they call you? I mean, how will they, what's the thing? They say, listen, we heard about O.L.L.I.E and I've got a problem. We've got some kids that just keep getting in trouble.
Yeah, it's usually a distress call.
Yeah,
it sounds just like that.
Yeah, really,
yeah.
And they're like, you know,
like
I wasn't sure where else to turn, and I was referred to your organization that you've helped a lot of kids in the past, and you know, I have kids just skipping, or there's fights at school, or they're not paying attention to the studies, but there's a core group, and I don't want them to be expelled, you know, if they go too far. Can you help me?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Wow, okay.
And we get those calls, and then we schedule. The first thing we want to do is meet the child, though. You know, we schedule a meeting with the student and their parents.
I was going to say, the parents have to be. Now, let's take a break on that, because that's going to be real interesting, how that meeting goes, that first one, and whether the parents are up for it. Because sometimes part of the problem are the parents.
For sure.
All right. I mean, for a variety of reasons. We'll take a break, and when we come back, more on O.L.L.I.E. We can take a phone call or two if you want to jump in, but really to talk about exactly how they're helping to mentor these kids to become good men as they get older, and the process of it. It's a fascinating program and really worthwhile. We'll be back with more right after this. That'd be the most satisfying thing for you guys to see.
Definitely.
All right, here we go. Coming back. All right, we are back talking Only Living Life in Excellence. O.L.L.I.E is the name of the organization. It's a life youth program. With us are the co-founders Ty Garth and Dred Yehuda. Thanks to you guys for coming on. Appreciate that. I mean,
thank you for having us again.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And you go into schools. You're working with some at-risk youth, ages 12 to 18 boys. How did you come up with the name Only Living Life in Excellence, which is a good name? I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? But how did you come up with O.L.L.I.E?
So my partner here is big on acronyms. And when he first brought this to my attention, if I remember correctly, it was like maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Because we talk a lot, and he just had this idea. And the acronym was really long. I don't even remember what it was. It was good, but it was long.
It was long.
And I'm like, you know, Ty, that's just too long. Mm-hmm. And so I started just playing around with ideas, and I always tell this story because I never forget it. We were riding down Murfreesboro Road, right before Bell Road, in front of the Taco Bell.
I know exactly what it is.
And I was just kind of spitting out ideas, and I'm like, excellence, and then it just kind of only living life in excellence. Mm-hmm. And we both looked at each other.
Said,
that's it.
O.L.L.I.E. Oh, that's great. It's easy to remember. And that's what it's about, right? You're hoping, you know, even with these kids starting, the whole point is to excellence. That doesn't mean perfection.
Right.
But that means excellence, in your view, means just trying to do the best you can.
Yeah. Right. Well, when we talk about short-term goals, long-term goals, not just for youth, but for adults, who doesn't want to try and live the best life that they can?
There you go.
And so that name, it just stuck because it can hit every age group, every genre, every gender. I mean, it just fit. It just fit.
All right. When we went to the break, we were talking about how it works when the school reaches out to you, need help, there's some at-risk kids. And the first step for you, once they put you in touch, is reveal who the kids are, is you meet with the children and their parents. Yes. And again, as I said, going to break, sometimes the parents are doing the best they can, and it's just getting out of control. Other times, parents are part of the problem. I don't know. Are they always gung-ho to meet with you, or sometimes it takes a little doing?
Well, initially, they are, because they feel like, okay, now we have somebody or a group of men that's going to help our our child.
Correct.
But
is it oftentimes is single parent households, mixed bag?
a lot of times.
A lot of times, just mothers.
It's mothers or it's the grandparents raising the kids because mom might not be in the picture, dad's absent from the home as well. So the initial meet and greet, it's always excited because they now feel like they have people that's going to come into their lives and help them.
Are the kids a little apprehensive?
The kids definitely, they give so much pushback because they don't want that.
Sure, they're the ones that need to be helped, but they don't know yet.
They don't understand that. But then you have some parents that now, okay, here's a relief. There you go. Here's the kid. Make them right.
What do you? I mean, they can't just brush it off. I'm sure they have to play a role. What do you tell them?
Well, for us, we ask that what we program with them, and we need that same message to be sent at home. You need to follow the same guidelines and understand that what we're pouring into these young men, we need that reciprocated at the house. If you're not consistent, then how are we supposed to change anything in their lives at that moment? But we have a men's group that we started, and we can talk more about that as well. So we reach out to men in the community and men who are actively involved in the lives of their children, and we pour into them and get them to change their mindset and their thought process in order to help us change the kids in the neighborhood and the kids in the household, because we give you that blueprint of how you need to be. And the first thing is the change has to begin with the foundation, and the foundation of all of the households should be the men. But we understand that most of the households, the men are absent. So we want to build up men in the community who would be fearless and not afraid to, you see a kid doing something in the community that's not right, and to say something to them.
So, kind of like mentors and
yes.
Like a village, like you said, where you grew up in Louisville, you had your whole family around you and all. All right, so can you give me, Dred, without naming names, I mean, can you give me an example of maybe a case that you dealt with? And you've helped hundreds of kids over the years, of course, of maybe someone, and talk about what trouble the kid was in and then how it worked out. Can you think of someone that you have a success story, or is still a work in progress that jumps to mind? You can just use their first name if you want.
Definitely. Well, I don't want to put them. I don't want to put them out there.
Or just make up a name. Is it Billy? All right. So Billy was caught vandalizing the school. What? I don't know. You tell me.
So Billy actually is a good kid. Was a good kid, but some of his siblings, I'll say, older siblings, just didn't portray the best example for him.
Okay.
And so, as a young kid, he was pulled easily, right? A little bit more of a follower.
Sure. Well, he's looking up to these guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, at the time, he's like 11, 12 years old, juvenile run-ins from time to time. And him in particular, I gravitated towards, and he gravitated towards me. So just loving on him and speaking with him and gaining his trust. I taught him how to tie ties, went to public speaking engagements and kind of introduced him to just a different light.
Were his parents on board, or mother, father?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay, and the older siblings, because see, as much as you're doing, he's still coming home and being around them. Right. And I don't. Did you ever have to interact with them and just say, "Hey, dudes, I'm working with this guy. Be cool." I mean, what?
Most definitely. When it's time to get a little more assertive, I call Ty.
Yeah.
Because he has a different kind of approach.
I want to know about that. How do you get more assertive? And there's got to be a balance there, obviously, because this is a family can just say, "Leave us alone."
Definitely.
It's like giving them an ultimatum. Yeah. You want us here? Allow us to do what we need to do,
or we're leaving. Yeah. And hopefully the parents, they recognize you mean well, and so then they'll accommodate.
The work speaks for itself.
Yeah, it does. Here's the kicker about our program. We get to a point to where we gain the children's trust so much that when they get into things, they don't even call on their parents, they call us.
Facts.
Which is gratifying for us because we know that we've gained that trust with them. But for them to be able to do that, to know that they're still in a compromising situation and know that they have someone to call on.
That's big.
That's going to be there for them, good, bad, or indifferent, speaks volumes for our program.
Have you ever had to go to juvie to get one?
Not
to go get them, but we
Not
had
to
to
go
go
get
see.
To go see them or deal
Yeah.
with them when they're in a legal pickle.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
Okay, and when you show up, that's got to be that right there has to build an incredible trust. That
Yeah, it
okay, here
does.
I am, I'm in trouble, I've done something I'm accused of doing wrong, and they're here for me.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. So this Billy that we're talking about, similar situation.
Okay.
And after that last juvenile spout, he turned his life around.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's doing amazing right
Really?
now. He's
Yeah.
doing amazing.
So you kind of course, you deal with them, but you follow along. He's a little older now.
He's older now. I think he's
23.
22,
Oh,
23.
holy cow!
Yeah.
So, but it's got to be incredibly gratifying to see that he's kind of, because of the role you played and his parents
for
being
sure.
willing to do this,
Yes.
Yeah.
turn it around.
Yes. It's a feeling. My father used to say, "Be a blessing,"
Yeah.
and that phrase right there is a perfect example of that outcome.
Yeah.
You know, and he gravitated towards it to the point to where now he doesn't. I mean, he loves his siblings, but he's on a totally different path.
Yeah.
Totally different path.
Even though some of his siblings are still that other
yeah.
path.
Right.
It
Wow,
keeps you
that's what's
motivated.
amazing that you pulled that off, because that's just
Yeah.
hard. That's his home environment. That's what he sees. It's who he loves and looks up to. But he shifted and recognizes there's a better way.
Right.
Yeah. It keeps
That's
us
hard.
motivated to want to continue to do what we're doing.
Yeah.
When we have success stories like that.
Oh, I was going to say.
And they're
for
not
sure.
all success stories.
I know, you do the best you can.
We do the best we can.
Some of them eventually you start and then they just stop coming, or the parents
Yeah.
don't, and
Right.
that's all you can do, right?
Well, and that's kind of when Ty was saying that it starts off exciting. When the work starts to happen, we really see who wants it.
Who's
Yeah.
committed.
Right.
What do you think's the hardest thing when they get started? The hardest thing where you know, okay, if we can get past this kid may have a chance. But at the beginning, these are the hurdles that we have to get past, and not everyone does.
I think it's building that trust.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they trust you, they're willing to go along with anything you say, maybe.
Anything.
They are.
Anything.
But until then, it's like, wait a second, I don't know.
So think about like when we were growing up,
Uh-huh.
and we would have school assemblies, right?
Uh-huh.
And we would have some police officer or some city council person, and they would come in there,
I
and,
can remember it.
and it's like, don't do this, don't do that, do this, and then we never see them again.
Yep.
These children are like, I don't know this person. I'm never going to see this person again. Why should I listen to them?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So for that reason, consistency is key. When we actually meet with the children alone after that initial consultation with the parent and the child, we just listen to them.
Meaning, will you ask them questions? So listen to, what kind of things do you want to know from them?
Just vent.
Okay, vent.
What's
And-
been going on?
And what are they saying? Are a lot of them probably are angry, insecure, confused.
Very much so.
You see a lot of them that deal with that they're being the parent of their younger siblings, and they having to play the role as an adult early,
Yeah, that's not fair.
and that affects them not only in the community but even at school, because you up all times of the night doing things with your younger siblings, or even if they're the younger sibling, their older sibling, they don't have anybody there to help with the homework, to be encouraging when it comes to community neighborhood things, because there's so much drama that they experience throughout their life. They're gonna see a lot of things in their neighborhood that's going to affect them.
Yeah, and that's part of the big picture here. I'm sure that you guys will work with anyone when the school's called.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
it can be socially economic. It can be some of these neighborhoods. I would imagine you work predominantly with a lot of from the African American community.
Yes.
And it's because those are the schools that are calling. And it's the cycle for some of these kids trying to help them out of it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's just tough. Some of these neighborhoods, they're hearing gunshots at night.
Yeah.
During the day even.
Or during the day. Or they've
Yeah.
had friends shot and killed or arrested. And we do our share of stories where there's juveniles that get involved in bad situations, white and black, you know, but they're shot and killed. And you find out a friend of yours that lives down the road was just killed in some kind of, I don't know, shooting.
Yeah.
That's just at a whole different level. I don't know. Is that kind of like similar to the environment you guys grew up in? Again, I've covered it. I didn't grow up like that.
Right.
Okay. But you come from a different world. Is that kind of what you grew up in?
Yes. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. Grew up
Okay.
in Newark, New Jersey, and we grew up in Section 8 homes. So we did see a lot of that. I think the difference for me, I was fortunate enough to have both of my parents. And it was what went on in the home that made the difference to when we went outside and just knew how to act and how to behave. So foundation is very, very important. And it's been beneficial for me. I'm second to youngest out of 8.
Oh, wow.
So I've been able to see a lot of bad, not only from outside, but in my household. And so, like I said, that structure and that foundation to just know that this is the right way, this is the wrong way, and be able to make the right choice. I was fortunate enough to.
But do all your siblings as well, or do you say there was some? I mean, you have 2 parents in the household, which is a plus. Right. Okay, but 8 kids, that's a lot of kids.
Right. And so, not all of my brothers and sisters were successful.
Okay.
2 of my brothers, I've lost. My oldest brother and my youngest brother, I lost just in the past 3 years.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, even though I'm not a young man anymore, it still has an effect on you. And some of the choices and decisions that they've made are the result of where they are now.
Mm-hmm.
I've had siblings that have been in and out of jail for whatever reason. And so just being able to see that firsthand and know that that's not what I want to do and make the choice myself to want to be better and do better. I have 3 boys as well. So I know that it's not just this community that's watching me. It's my own seed that's watching me.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make that choice to try and be the best person that I can be to live my life in excellence.
And their mother's very involved with them as well?
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. Having 2 parents in a household can be that care a big plus. But even as you said in your case, sometimes with that, kids can still go astray.
Definitely.
It's not always just single parent. There are a lot of single parents that do a wonderful job. We'll take a break. Be back with more of our conversation about O.L.L.I.E right after this. Grow up and be good parents.
Exactly.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You guys are doing great.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Back on Morning Line talking about O.L.L.I.E, Only Living Life in Excellence. Co-founders Ty Garth and Dred Yehuda is with us. I was looking at some of the different programs. As you help parents and these kids as you go into the schools that maybe are at risk, you have a suspension program. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And this is to help support parents who can't take time off work. How do you pull this off? Talk about that.
Well, we have great community partners.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Fade Doc Barbershop, Antonio Kelly. He's one of our sponsors, been a sponsor with O.L.L.I.E for 15 years. He allows for us to have students in the barbershop,
And for folks, I'm well familiar with the barbershop concept, but for folks who maybe aren't, talk about, it's not just a place you go to get your hair cut or styled.
Right.
Barbershops are a meeting place.
Yes.
It's a wonderful, and within the African-American community, I guess, in the neighborhoods, the barbershop was the place. And like I said, I'm well aware of it, but for some of our viewers who maybe aren't as familiar.
It's the best conversation place.
It is.
It's the best place you can have the best conversations, and because Antonio is, a staple in the community as well.
Knows everyone.
When the kids are in there, they're pouring into them. They're not just doing work, but they're actually being impactful in their lives and encouraging them to, why are you in here?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be at school right now.
Okay.
So you're in here, but while you're in here, you're going to get this conversation.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about everything under the sun.
Well, the beauty of that, sometimes they'll go in for any number of reasons, but once they're in that chair, they ain't moving.
Yeah.
They got to sit there and listen, right? And then there's a lot of others. Sometimes they're not getting their haircut, but just it's a meeting place.
Most definitely.
The entire shop is full of men who's going to be impactful in the lives of these young boys that we bring. So we're grateful for that.
Okay, so you have partnerships like that with barbershops, but again, the suspension program or the program of helping parents then that want to do better, but they want to spend time, but they can't get time off work. How are you able to help them with that?
So if they're not in the barbershop, sweeping hair or what have you, I'm a property manager during the day. And so, they'll come to my properties. We've done.
So what you're saying though is you'll say, I can take your kids for you,
definitely.
and they'll be with me helping, doing something constructive.
Definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely.
I love that. Okay.
And then if it's not during the week, or if they've been on suspension, we'll grab them on the weekends and have conversations with them. We'll take them to certain places. I think it can be a little intimidating and embarrassing for them, but to have them go to a place where they know no one and stand up and talk about why you're here, and for them to be able to get that out, and then to have the men that are in that particular, at that particular event, be able to continue to pour into them, right? This idea of it takes a village is very important.
Yeah.
And to know that now you can't go anywhere and do something that you know you're not supposed to do because all these people know you and see you.
Keep an eye on you in the community.
So,
It takes the. Yeah, and by the way, I should have done a better job at least explaining. When I say the suspension program, it's the idea of some of these kids get suspended from school, and when they come home, if their parent or parents are at work, I mean, they can be just sitting at home left unattended, doing what and that's not good.
Right.
I mean, it's just who knows what they get into there. So the idea is to have some kind of out-of-school program for them. That's and they get suspended for what kind of stuff?
Well, fighting, being disrespectful to teachers.
I got suspended a couple times, believe it or not. Yeah, I did.
Dare I ask why?
I got picked on and I got no fight.
Okay.
And I'm glad I did. Okay. It's a good learning experience for me. But I ended up sitting at home and my mom was not happy and dad were not happy about it. So I just sat at home. They took the TVs away. I couldn't get access to them, whatever. I was grounded.
Right.
It's no fun, but it's time wasted. I think it's wonderful that you guys are able to take these kids out.
It's fun for them to be suspended nowadays.
Right.
Because they got the video games.
Right.
They got the technology. They have
exactly.
all of that.
So it's like, oh, you're suspending me? Thanks.
Yeah.
And I get out of school.
Yeah.
And again, they're not thinking big picture of what that means, missing classes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. Do you guys work with churches too?
We do.
Yeah.
By the way, I apologize for interrupting, but is it obviously faith maybe plays a role here, but you're not necessarily a religious organization. But if that is something that's important to someone, that's certainly wonderful.
Yeah, for sure. No, we're not faith-based, but again, if we don't stray away from it, we believe in the higher power. We know who gives us the strength to do this every day.
Right.
But yes, we have partnerships. We have the Church Without Walls, which is Pastor Keith McGee. We have Impact Church of Nashville with Pastor Derek Faison. We actually have an event this weekend with the church, with Impact Church of Nashville.
What are you going to do?
It's our monthly men's meeting.
Okay.
And we meet with men. It's a safe space for them to come, share, open up.
Are these men, meaning not necessarily parents of kids, but any?
Some are.
Some are.
Yeah.
And they come and this meeting, it's all part of the O.L.L.I.E program, right?
Yeah, it's open to men who would like to attend.
And what is
each month?
How is this to help them?
So, when we first started O.L.L.I.E, it was about the youth.
Uh-huh.
And as the years started to go on, we started to notice that we could spend days, weeks with a child, but if they go back home to this environment, everything that we've done with them is negated.
Yeah.
So the idea was to start to reach out to some of the fathers and some of the men in the community, like I was talking about earlier, and really work with them and make them understand the importance and the power of their roles. Because if we can, it's almost like now we tried to start at the bottom, but now we have to start at the top and trim back down. Mm-hmm. If we can get the men to be on board with this, it'll, in essence, be beneficial for the child.
The foundation.
That makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. So it's all encompassing. Right. It's the parents, the adults, and some of them need some help and guidance maybe because of wherever they came from. Right. And yet they may now be parents of these kids, and that'll help them set that foundation.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I think it's great. And as far as the mentorship and stuff, you talked about how you taught some of them to tie a tie. Mm-hmm. Basic stuff like this, like for when they have to apply for a job. Right. Right. You prep them for that.
Yeah, everything. We have a business etiquette portion. We have a lifestyle etiquette because some of them don't even understand how to pull out a chair for a young lady when they go on a date, and they all believe that every date they go to, the food has to be wrapped up in a bag and you pull up at the drive-thru.
Listen, I was like, I can understand that. That's where I used to eat. Right. But you're right. You have to tell them there's other options.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
How do you walk them through that? Have you taken them to a restaurant?
Well, that's the plan. We have several moments where we do the whole lifestyle etiquette portion of it, and it's not funny, but it is funny because you see, like, man, you will go to a steakhouse and try to order chicken and fries or chicken tenders and stuff when we can show you something different than what you're accustomed to. Yep. So we want to be able to pour into these young men, and even the men, some of the men aren't privy to some of the things. It's
amazing when you really step back in some of these families, depending on where they come from, okay, in the background, what so many things we take for granted and just understand we know, okay, like going and ordering whatever at a specific type of restaurant. If you don't have any experience with that and have never been, why would you know what to do?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Just everything from, you know, it's a tragic thing. I don't know if this is off base a bit, but, you know, we have our share of drownings sometimes in the lakes here. And there are kids, and, you know, I grew up around water being taught to swim, but there are some families that never, ever talk about swimming, never teach their kids to be water safe, and then they happen to head out to Percy Priest with some friends one weekend. And they don't know anything about water. They say, oh, it looks like water. And they have a friend that maybe knows how to swim, jumping in.
Right.
And the kid comes up and they go. Well, the kid thinks, oh. And literally, they don't know.
Right.
And so they jump in thinking they can do the same thing, know nothing about swimming, and they drown.
Right.
And it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But it's like, people are always like, well, how does that happen? Because no one ever taught them. They saw someone else. They didn't realize that jumping in, unless you know what you're doing, you may not come back up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of experience, and you don't realize sometimes if someone's there to teach you the most basic thing, why would you know?
Right.
I don't blame them.
Well, that's why exposure is important.
Yeah,
right?
To as much as you can.
The idea that knowledge is power is powerful. So to know a little bit about a lot of things is valuable. Is valuable.
It'll save your life.
It's a teaching lesson, and I mean, it's even a conversation piece, right? To be able to walk into any room and be able to at least have an idea of the conversations that are going on in that room is very beneficial as a child and even as an adult. So
let's take a break. We'll come back, and we're going to talk more about what you guys are looking for, too, to help this organization, mentors and the like. Stay with us. We'll be right back. He'd be shaving, and he'd put a little in my hand, and I'd eat it. We're back on the morning line. We're talking about our life as kids and how we learned how to tie a tie. And if you have a parent that he and I would sit there and watch our dad tie ties. And I don't wear ties anymore. But anyway, we're talking about O.L.L.I.E this morning. Ty Garth is with us, and Dred Yadua. Both of them were co-founders of this organization. It's been around since 2015, goes into schools, helps at-risk kids, you know, get back on the path, and sometimes they just need a little helping hand. And you guys are always looking for youth mentors and the like. I just thought we'd throw that out there. You know, how does it work, and who are you looking for?
Well, we're reaching out to all men who would like to be a part of the program as far as mentors. We do our monthly For the Fathers meeting, which is an initiative that we started 3 years ago to recognize men and young men in the community for doing great things. That's a collaborative partnership with Dr. James Bush, a licensed therapist. So we just reach out to men who would like to see the change in the community.
Not necessarily parents. It could be any.
It can be anybody.
Someone in the community that wants to help.
Who just want to be a part. We have great community partnerships with men from Fade Doc Barbershop, like I said, with Antonio Kelly, Black Men Vent 2 with Jonathan and Leon Davis, Dante Dunham from Dijon Boutique. So we have men that's out here that's wanting to push the culture forward, be supportive in the community, but we can always use more.
Okay, good. Well, I'll let folks know as we wrap up the show how to get in touch. By the way, you see the website up there right now, but we have a call from Linda. Linda, good morning. Hi, Linda.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you, Linda?
I'm good. Anyway, I was listening to your program this morning with the two guys and talking about parents and kids and stuff.
Sure.
No, I'm a single parent forever, and I raised two kids, one 50 and one 44. Let me tell you something. My kids went out and ate hamburgers and French fries every now and then, but I took them out for steak and everything else. My daughter have never seen inside a public school. I paid for her to go to a private school as a single parent.
Wow.
But I didn't play games when it come down to my kids.
How did you pull it off? How did you pull it off? Did the father of the kids help you at all, or was this just you working very hard?
One of them did.
Okay, but
my daughter helped. Dad helped me just a little now, not very much.
Well, you sacrificed an awful lot for them.
Yeah, I had to because I had them.
Yeah.
Those was my kids.
So we said mothers of the foundation.
And believe me, I did whatever I had to. I didn't go out. I didn't let no man stay in my house. None of that stuff. Because I love my kids. And right today, I have two grandsons. And right now, we got them in programs, football, basketball, all the programs. And listen, that oldest one, every coach in Nashville see him, want him on their team, because he's very good, very manable. And I go to every game.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sick or something. I go to every game to make sure things is okay.
How old are you now, Linda?
I am 70 years old.
Well, you're amazing. You are amazing, and you've done a fantastic job, and thank you for sharing it.
And you know what my prayer is?
Yeah.
Lord, keep me here till my grandsons grow up so I can see what they going to do in life.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
my prayer. And I tell God to keep me, and He keeping me too.
Well, you sounds great, and I sure hope she does. That's a great example of a parent that's a grandparent. She was involved. Yeah. I mean, I wish everyone was like her.
Yeah. I grew up in a single parent home. My mom
was like her.
Is definitely like her. She's amazing. I see my mom sacrifice so much and work 2 jobs to make sure that my siblings and I had the things that we needed. So that's my motivation. That's my push. That's the person that I look to for encouragement.
I'll tell you, I've seen some rough kids at juvie and others when I've done stories. Tough customers that kind of scary in a way. But when their mother comes up,
facts.
I don't care who you are. If you're a bad dude, good dude, if you're in trouble, whatever, they love their mom and they defer to them. Now, they're not doing everything their mom wishes they would do, obviously. But boy, maybe you can use that to get through to them because I don't care who they are. They're somewhere in there. They love their mom.
That mom is that leverage.
Right.
She's the leverage.
And my guess is that their mom has always been their support and is there for them even when they're going astray. And they know that that's unconditional. And that's
because that's what it is. It's that unconditional love. No matter what, the mother is not going to give up. Yeah. My mom never gave up on it.
And then it hopefully pays off like it did for her and for your mother the same way, right?
Well, and imagine how you can maximize that child if there's 2 parents that are involved in that child's life. So.
Again, and that's why what you guys do is so important. I mean, in this day and age, because of the crime and some of the juvies involved, everyone's like, oh, what the heck, why blah? No one's born that way, okay? It is your environment. Yeah, you may be, genetically predisposed to maybe be a hothead a bit or have a personality this way. No, it's your environment. Right. But for the grace of God, if I didn't have 2 caring parents, God knows where I'd be. Right. Yeah. Seriously. And it's because of them. No kidding. And I know plenty of folks that didn't have what I had and somehow succeeded, and they're stronger than me. Right. There's some special people to get past those hurdles, thanks to programs like yours.
Yeah, it's important.
It is, definitely.
It's important.
So, I mean, as we wrap, what more do you need? As we say, we've got the website up there, but looking for mentors, what parting shots do you want to leave with our viewers?
So you can go on the website. You can donate monetarily. We will accept clothes. We can accept canned goods. Even if it's a video with a positive message, like whatever we could use to positively affect some of these children, we would gladly take.
If there's a parent watching who recognizes that maybe your program could help their child, can they reach out through that as well? Or is that something they need to talk to the school about?
No, you can go through the website.
Okay,
you can directly go through our website to reach out. We know schools starting back up And we have 2 locations for supplies to be donated. If you would like to donate supplies, because we're going to give
helping the kids get ready with their school supplies. That's awesome.
They're at Faydock Barbershop 1 and 2. Faydock 1 is located in Antioch off of Mountain View.
Okay.
And Faydock 2 is located on Murfreesboro Road. You have drop boxes there if you would like to donate school supplies and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And then August the 2nd, which is a Saturday, at Faydock 2, we're going to sponsor haircuts for the kids.
Oh, so they can go back to school with a clean cut and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and then where is that going to be on August 2nd?
Faydock Barbershop 2 on Murfreesboro Road.
Barbershop 2, because I think it'd be kind of cool to come out and do a story that day.
Yeah,
on that.
for sure.
Wonderful.
You think? I mean, I think that would be great.
Yes.
Barbershop 2, and that's on Murfreesboro Road.
Yeah.
Nick, if you do come, bring a jar of that honey that I always see you talking about.
Should. You like that on a biscuit?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to be harvesting my bee honey, sometime later, and I'll bring some.
Yeah,
I'm running out, but my bees have got to get busy. You harvest it at the end of the year. You like honey?
I do.
Yeah.
Now, that'd be a neat thing for some of your younger kids to come see a
Yeah, for
beehive
sure.
set up, and the environment.
Yeah.
That's something a lot of folks have. I'll put you in a bee suit.
I'm
You
with
go out there. I promise you, won't
have
get
one
stung.
small enough?
No, but look at me. You're taller than me. I got to see. There's a little baggy on me or whatever. No, that would be a neat thing. I think that's one. You do that every year, the haircut thing?
Yes. Yeah.
You get a bunch of kids come out?
Yeah, we
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm just curious. I know you deal with the young boys, and that's cool. Is there a comparable program for young girls?
Yes. Shout out to Kara Johnson,
Yes.
Define Design. That's our sister organization, and they
Wouldn't mention that.
they work with all the young ladies in the community, black or brown young ladies, white in the community, and they do
Okay.
an amazing job.
Yes.
Is there any subtle difference between the issues that you deal with because of boys as opposed to girls, you think? I mean, there is testosterone to think about.
For sure, and communicating.
Okay.
Yeah.
There may be a different
Yeah,
means of that. I
different
don't.
way of
but they both
communicating.
have their
Yeah.
own set of problems.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes. You see a set of siblings. You have a brother and you have a sister, and it's like, man, she's going through the exact same thing that he's dealing with. So we have to find somebody to help her. So we reach out to Define Design.
Good, and I wanted to ask that. Just want to make sure that there's things out there for young girls as well.
Yes.
Guys, listen, thank you for coming on. It is a pleasure.
Thank you
for
It is a
having us,
pleasure.
man.
I hope you
Appreciate
guys get in more schools, continue to grow. If there's anything we can do to help promote any events you have for fundraising or anything, you just let us know. Okay,
Thank
I'd be
you so
glad
much.
to help in any way.
Okay.
But I really appreciate you coming on. Ollie's fantastic.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank you
talk
for having
again.
me. All right.
Be right back with a programming note about tomorrow, right after this. Stay with us. All right, that is a wrap. Our thanks to our guest this morning on from O.L.L.I E. What a great program. If you get a chance, participate, be aware of it anyway, and hopefully it helps more kids and continues to grow. I'm really glad they came on. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about Walk Bike Nashville, the whole idea of some of these transportation changes coming, the bike lanes that are out there, what we'd like to see happen for the community to make it more accessible to get around not using your car. So we'll get into all of that tomorrow. Be sure to join us. In the meantime, stay tuned to the News Channel 5 network. And I dare say, stay cool out there because it's going to be hot today. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.